Nintendo confirms backwards compatibility. Oh my god. Best news I could have asked for, honestly, when it comes to the Switch 2. Yeah, this is all I really hoped it would have.
Even more than meeting Pikachu in real life?
Yeah, well, I don't need to do that. There's a picture of you meeting Pikachu, though.
It did be that. What a prick. I mean, he was cool. He was cool in front of the cameras, but behind the scenes, unbelievable.
He demanded $20.
He was giving this stagehand shit because they got the wrong mayonnaise on his tuna sandwich.
Fucking prick. Bitch. So Nintendo announced they just had like an investors meeting, so they got some news out there.
They investing.
One of the news was that the Switch is at 146 million units sold, so it's like 10 million units behind the PS2. So it's on track to be the greatest system seller ever.
Damn.
I think it will. I didn't think so before, but you know what? Like, this fucking thing keeps selling no matter what. So
yeah,
there you go.
That is incredible.
In due time, I think it will. It's insane.
When they're not suing people, they're fucking slapping with sales, eh?
The backwards compatibility is excellent.
Yeah. So the president of Nintendo basically went on Twitter and said, "This is Furukawa," which, it's hilarious. They go to the Nintendo account and they say, "This is Furukawa. This is Miyamoto." Like, they all share this one account. So,
this is Darren.
He's like, yeah, this is Darren. But this is Furukawa. At today's corporate management policy briefing, we announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online will also be available to the successor to the Nintendo Switch as well. Further information about the successor to Nintendo Switch, including its compatibility with Nintendo Switch, will be announced at a later date. So yeah, they pretty much confirmed that backwards compatibility is going to be a thing. They also confirmed that the online of Nintendo Switch will be transferred over, which is good because if you're a Nintendo fan, every iteration of their online has been like you start from scratch. Right. And you got to buy Mario Brothers again. But that's cool. That's all I really hoped for. And I saw it coming, but like it's nice to know for sure. The coolest part of this tweet to me, though, is at the end. He says, further information about the successor to the Switch, including its compatibility with the Switch, will be announced at a later date. That is weird. Like that. So the new system is going to be compatible with the old system. It sounds like he's literally talking about the system itself, not even like anything else. I have no idea what that could be. That could just be a fancy way to say the Joy-Cons will work on the next system or something. But like,
yeah, I'm sure there will be something you're giving up or they're not able to fully translate over, maybe.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. So that's interesting. It's yet to be seen what this Switch 2 is. Now the rumor is that they have nothing to show this year, which is why they've been doing alarm clocks and music services. So if that's the case, I kind of had a feeling at this point. It's already November. Next week is December, it feels like. So, like, it's the year's almost over, so I wouldn't bet on it either. But, yeah, this is kind of par for the course, I guess. I think the reason why he said this was software sales are kind of down. And I think he said this to be like, no, you can keep buying the games. They're going to work on the new system. Don't worry.
Right.
That's how I took it.
Do you think that it was... If they were going to announce it before the holidays, they would have announced it already. Like, this is far too late in the year to announce the Switch 2. If it were coming out now,
I thought they would honestly they would have announced it in September. That's when I was banking on it the most, and then like have the the 6-month wait period for like March or April or whatever. That's what I was banking on, but just because they did that with the Switch. But the thing is, when they announced the Switch, they were in like the shits with the Wii U. So it was kind of a different game plan back then. So now it just seems like all we have to go on for sure is they're going to announce it before March. That is what they said. They're announced before the fiscal year ends. Their fiscal year ends in March. So if it gets announced by March, they're not lying.
Right.
But yeah, to be honest, yeah, I thought it would have been announced by now, but it's clearly not in their plans. Maybe it's because they're trying to sell Switches to beat this, record. Maybe they just, they have other plans because they announced Donkey Kong Country Returns HD or whatever for January, and they just announced Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is another Wii U port, announced for March. So they're clearly stretching this out in a weird way. So. This tweet kind of makes sense to be like, don't worry, the new Switch will play these old games. You could keep buying our games. Don't worry about it. So,
right.
We'll see.
Smart.
Yeah.
And it secures the Switch sales they were going to make anyway. Right?
Yeah,
'Cause they're still
exactly.
selling this thing like crazy.
Yeah.
So they would secure all those sales. And then you announce this thing in January or February or whatever. You take your time and you release the gimmick, you know?
Yeah, exactly. They had a projected sales thing for like, I think it was 13.5 million units. And then they had to recalculate it to 12.5, but it's like, okay.
Wow.
Like, that's still a high number for a system this old, you know? So they're definitely, they're in a really good spot. So yeah, I think they're looking at the numbers. They're like, we don't need to announce the Switch 2 yet. We just don't. So.
Dude, I couldn't believe the resale value. You were right. Remember that one time where I'm like, hey, Derek, you could probably get a Switch for pretty cheap. And you're like, no, the pricing on the Switch actually hasn't dropped by all that much. No. And I went to look.
Not at all.
And yeah, man, a lot of these systems are still 70, 75% of the price.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna hold out for the 2.
You're gonna hold out, eh? Well, I mean, it's cool
You're
because
gonna
now
have
you
the
know it's
shiniest
backwards
systems
compatible.
next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The analog N64.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happening.
The analog N64.
And then that's happening. But they might have to be. I might have to just give in and get the PS5 as well. Otherwise, Metal Gear is no bueno.
Now you're
Darren's
just
getting-
helping yourself to dessert as well, and then you're another helping. Come on, dude.
See
It's
what
gonna
happens
be
when
an
you join
expensive
us?
25, man. Honestly, I'm
will.
screwed.
Well, you joined Podcast Fresh, and you're getting 3 systems now.
Exactly. But the PS4 since like 2015.
You're gonna need an intervention soon.
Yeah.
But
You're
yeah,
out of control,
now
Darren.
Now I'm looking at free consoles. What's going on?
Not free consoles.
You're out of control, Darren.
3, not free.
Jeez. Anyway, that's it. So we'll see what we'll see if there's any further updates like that. That was cool of them to just drop a little nugget like that. That was cool. So yeah,
Like a nice nugget.
Nintendo Switch 2 will be backwards compatible. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. Go even further and subscribe to Podcast Fresh wherever you listen to your podcasts for new episodes every week.